Lord. Well, that's a bright sun coming through. My chair is squeak. Well, it was squeaking. It might join in today, guys. You're gonna have to bear with me. I do have a little bit of like going on because it's allergy season, and we are like allergy capital of the world. Oh, why can you not see my death? Oh my god! Hold on. Here, right there. All right. I don't know if that helped, but why does it look so wonky? Okay, anyways, whatever. You're just gonna see my face. It's coffee and tarot, guys. It's a time where we sit down and we have a conversation with spirit, and spirit gets to determine what the topic is, and it's free reign, and we just get to listen, right? Okay, so with that, that means we come in with no intentions, no preconceived notions, no parameters, no boxes, no time frames, no nothing. We just gotta listen. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay. I have my coffee ready. Get your cup. Lemon water. They're already giving me decks to pull. Tea, coffee, whatever you want. Settle in and let's have a conversation with spirit. Okay. And you'll be proud of me. That's my first coffee of today. I maybe get like two, but I knew I was gonna go full throttle. That's full throttle. And so I waited. Aren't we proud? They're they're giving me some. Okay, so this might something in September might have something to do with what they want to talk about today. Um, but what they're pointing out in September is like fall. Okay, because it's like they're giving me like the little festivals you go see. They're showing me crisp mornings. They showed me like going to a cross country meet. They do it really early in the days when it's really nice and cold. But they're showing me in September. Like there's September, but it's like that feeling of when I don't know, the Burr months, where you get to do all the fun stuff as the seasons are changing, the way that it feels. Like there's something invigorating about fall time, at least to me. And so like they're showing me little snippets, snip, 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 snip. And I'm like, okay, so it's September, something about September, but like a changing of a season, which does actually happen in September, technically. Uh that. But it's kind of like what they're giving. Like usually September 1st, we're still in. Well, at least where I'm at. Where I'm at now, this might be different for somebody else. I understand this. But like where I'm at, it's so hot. Like we still be in the 80s in October, and like the mornings kind of fool you, like ooh, and then all of a sudden you're like, huh, like you can't dress properly ever. Um, and so let me keep shuffling and see what else they bring through. So there's something about September. There's something about the changing of the season, this reinvigoration. It's a bit of like an excitement. They're bringing like changing up what you're wearing. So like how you get excited when you can get to like you haven't worn something for a while, you get to pull it back out. So like I don't know about you, but like when summer or warm weather's coming, I'm like yes, and my jean shorts come out. And then like when fall comes, like I'm ready for the little like the brown boots and the jeans and the like or like the oversized sweatshirt and like I don't know things like that. Like or the fall colors. Like I get excited. So anytime, so they're giving me new clothing, like a changing of this. They haven't tied anything together yet, though. I mean, other than like fall would like satiate all those little snippets. But I mean, beginning September is just the beginning now. Maybe if you're up in the northern, like further north, even in Canada and stuff like that, um, that would make sense. Okay, like it may feel like that. We have the Five of Pentacles, y'all. How's everybody doing? Two of Swords. So definitely they want to talk about a change happening because we got the Five of Pentacles. That's like, I don't want to say lack. I want to say being without something. And the Two of Swords is maybe having stayed there in that energy for a period of time. Like you can almost kind of like sometimes there's this indecision that happens with the Two of Swords. But I am getting with this one making a decision. Like maybe you've sat on something or sat on making a decision. Like sometimes we'll pretend like there's no problem. Sometimes we act like the solution or the answer is just going to come out of thin air and we're just sitting and waiting until you're done waiting, right? Until you've simmered in this long enough and you're like marinated is what they said in this long enough, and then you're like, okay, uh so something that you've done without, and you kind of waited. So maybe you waited to see if it would come in and it's not. So you're like, oh, time to make some changes. I know y'all can't see my cards. Some days, look, my camera's back as far as it can go. I don't understand why you can't see this. And if I back up any more, for the love of God, I'm gonna be putting holes in my wall. Watch, I'm gonna accidentally put a hole. I better not. I swear I better not. King of Wands. I heard goal oriented. So there's a goal. There's a, they're giving me Thanos from Endgame. Fine, I'll do it myself. So you waited for some kind of change. You sat without something long enough and you're like, fine, I'll just do it myself. King of Wands has a very focused, driven, and precise follow through. I promise you, when the King of Wands chooses to do something, it gets done. And nothing, like he is singularly focused. Okay? He is mission oriented. Ain't nothing gonna stop him. I mean, he gets it done. Okay. I have a feeling the King of Wands is gonna be the center of the energy. And I can't help but feel like so it also has a different person's energy to it. It feels like someone else's energy, like it's not you. But that may have been what you were waiting on, was someone else to do something. And you're like, you know what? Because that idea of like, fine, I'll do it myself. So maybe you thought somebody else was the King of Wands, but like you're gonna have to end up being the King of Wands. My eyes want to close like I just licked a lemon. A little sour. I'll show you in a minute. So the illustrious Two of Cups came out. I don't know. Maybe you thought you would be doing something with somebody else. Maybe you thought, and I don't want to make it sound like you were waiting for some kind of like knight in shining armor to come through. And that doesn't have to be like a love situation. This can just be, you know, like soulmates in a different kind of capacity. This could be just a soul contract, like somebody that's in alignment with you, you two helping one another, right? You may have thought that surely I'll get some kind of help or assistance along the way. And you're like, you know what? Apparently not. This also could be very well like I've been waiting. Like maybe you've had like, again because I kept getting the King of Wands being someone else, but you end up having to be the King of Wands, right? Like because I see Two of Cups with the Eight of Pentacles, and it's like I should have been doing this with somebody else, right? Or someone else should have been involved in this, or like somebody else was going to help me. I mean, you could have been expecting like a mentor to show up, or you thought you would make some kind of connection that would help you out, and it's like you thought you'd be moving forward in something with somebody else because Eight of Pentacles is all about the forward trajectory. It's everything that you put in up to this point. And the Eight of Pentacles is also about focusing in, right? Seven of Pentacles is kind of like planting the seeds, seeing what grows, and then you know where to direct your energy. You know exactly where to direct your energy, but you thought somebody else would be along for the ride somehow. But you're done. And so that's where you were like, okay, I feel like, you know, I don't know. I mean, I could even see this in like a business situation or in work, or, like I thought that I would have someone along for the ride, someone to help me. And it's looking like, and so that might be where you stayed waiting in that liminal space, like waiting to see if it would show up. And if I feel like you really feel like you're having to do it on your own right now. And if this is somebody that you had romantic feelings for, it's kind of like, you know what? I have a full cup and I really I wanted to do this path with somebody. But I'm certainly not going to hold myself back from this. And so I guess I'll take my cup and just keep pouring it back into myself. I'll be the thing that I was waiting for something to come, the one to come in. Not that you weren't, but it's just kind of like, I'm okay with that then, fine. Like, I just feel you did without long enough. The Empress came out upside down. It is really giving like somebody having wanted, like there was it was conflictual. Got the Five of Wands. Five of Wands. Like I think you wanted to be the Empress upright. But if you're the one that's having to step into the energy of the King of Wands, it's like if I'm gonna have to be the King of Wands, I'm not looking for whoever was supposed to be the King of Wands. I'm gonna make shit happen in my life. Like if I'm gonna have to be okay. So I always said this, like if I have to be single in a relationship, then I'm just gonna be single. Like if I'm gonna have to parent, like be a single parent, then I'm gonna be a single parent. If I'm gonna do it on my own, I'm gonna do it on my own. Um, like this idea or notion of being more in your feminine, where where your creativity can flourish. I mean, there was something conflictual about that. Like again, it's the cross between that's where I want to reside. And if I have help, then I can be in that energy more often. But if it's just going to be me, then I'm the King of Wands, period, point blank. Because the Five of Wands is that conflictual, chaotic desires and wants, because that's what the wands are, kind of competing with one another. right? And it's like as long as this is like this, it's competing also with the idea of I'm not going to do without any longer. Because I mean, sitting around and waiting, like it's one of those things where it's like while you're waiting, you can be doing. But if I'm already gonna be doing and in my masculine really hard, then I'm just gonna. I'm not fucking waiting anymore. I'm not gonna because there's this shared something when you have someone else to do it with. And again, this could be soul family, business partners, and somebody that you can network with. Like there's a shared confirmation. Sorry, I have to check because obviously y'all know my mom's in the hospital. Um, and so yeah, you made a decision. It feels like if I'm gonna do it on my own, I'm doing it on my own. I wanted to, but the thing is, when I'm sitting and I've been in this lack, you stay in that long enough, you no longer feel creative and connected and inspired and um nurturing, right? It becomes stagnant waters. It creates a battle within you. It creates chaos. Yep. Okay, they told me to. Seven of Wands. I gotta do me. I have to do what's good for me right now. It has this feeling of like you might. There's a concern that you will solidify in this isolation energy, is what they want to say. But whoever I'm reading for is fine with that. You've existed in it long enough and you have entertained the idea long enough that you can do this with a community, you can do this with someone else, but it's just not happening. And you're like, I'll have to fucking figure out a way. King of Wands makes a fucking way. And it's like attempting to create community at what cost, or waiting for something to come in at what cost? Yourself, apparently. And I'm just not going to do that anymore. Seven of Wands. I know my worth. I know what I want and desire. And this is really making me feel powerless and less confident. And again, it feels like you weren't waiting, as in like, come rescue me. But you were also holding back with the Two of Swords. There's a slight pause, like a slight. So you may have been doing certain things and you're like, you know what? I've shouldered this long enough. You realize this indecision with the Two of Swords, where you're kind of like thinking something more is going to happen. Um, it was keeping you in that lack, and no, and whatever's coming in isn't worth waiting for if that's what it requires, right? We don't choose a path that requires us to forsake any aspect of ourselves, even our wants and desires, right? And so the devil, you're cutting yourself free from those chains. There's something about you feel like you've gotten to the place where think like the hope that your circle will grow larger or the right people will come in or anything like that, that's that has become the toxicity. now. It's we've talked about this a lot on this channel where hope can become a burden. When you have to hold it like this for so long, you can put a feather in somebody's hand. The longer you have to do this, you will notice that their hand starts to like their arm can't do it. You just can't do it. I don't care how light, whatever. Put nothing in the hand. Your arm will start to shake. Things will start to give out. It becomes a burden. I'm trying to figure this out. The Queen of Cups came out in reverse, and I don't usually do reversals, but the Queen of Cups in reverse is very similar energy to the Empress in reverse. And then the Eight of Wands. And the thing is, just the other day, I went through every single deck to make sure shit was not, everything's upright, really, really gave some good one over on things because it's like, Queen of Cups is supposed to like make sure her cup's full and love and nurture herself and just be the source of sustenance, right? Like you first, always. And when you're not, because you're not doing that, I mean, just things are just not happening fast enough here. The Eight of Wands in reverse. And Eight of Wands is usually like spirit led. And so you feel as if you feel as if like spirit's not helping out with this. Like, well, okay, maybe both of these, but Eight of Wands is kind of like as communication, and the Queen of Cups is your intuition. I'm like, there may have been some your intuition may still be telling you that you will have a community come in, that there was somebody or something that's meant to move forward with you to help propel this. Um, and you're kind of like, even then, with my intuition picking up on this and telling me this, there's like almost having to ignore that because I mean, if spirit wants to, they will. Let's just put it that way. If spirit wanted to, they will. They would. Like they'll show up somehow. And if they fit in with your life at that time, great. If they don't, oh well. Because at no point are you willing to, this is like a self-sacrificial, you're just not going to do it anymore. You have recognized this is just not good for me, and I'm not like this. You feel like you're just waiting waiting to make that decision to move forward. It's not. You can't do it anymore. It's not good for you. And it's just not happening fast enough. And usually with Eight of Wands, it's very instant, but this feels like you've been in the energy for quite some time, and you're like, I gave my due diligence to this. And this is the time where I'm going to have to honor me as a human and tell my intuition, I'm sorry, despite you screaming like you're supposed to move forward with somebody else or with other people, that you're meant to have help with this. Like I feel like you risk traumatizing yourself if you stay in this without energy much longer. Let me make a different deck. A different deck. And it's kind of like I hear you. I hear you, but going universal, y'all. Okay. I just heard Thanos again. Fine. I'll do it myself. Explain yourself with this one, Spirit. Needs to flip out. Hierophant. So the card I'm asking them to explain is the Hierophant. Oh, okay. Again, you're not supposed to. It's like a contract, is what I'm getting, like a soul contract. Like, um, the thing is, for some of you, it is like a divine counterpart, in a romantic sense, and for others, it is a contract with another, but it's not romantic. That's why I keep going back and forth. It's like 10 of Wands is carrying the burden yourself. Like spirits, like you've carried the burden yourself. I don't think you disagree. You don't disagree that like I've had to, but something about the current status and having been in it for so long is not good for you. And spirit's take is whereas the devil, you're like, I can free myself from this. But they're asking you, are you really freeing yourself like you think? Because the same devil energy will exist if you take the path. Because they have the judgment with the ten of wands. Okay, holding up? I'm making sure I'm holding up the right ones. But it's kind of like answering the call. Like you have to choose this. We always talk about this. Your destiny or whatever path you have to choose it. Can't nobody force it. They can try. Spirit can do whatever they can to try and convince you, but they can't force you. And they're like, we really don't want you to do this alone anymore. Not, you think you're chained now by whatever. Have you given consideration to that same devil energy? You may be chained to something else without the help. I mean, the devil card is one where it's kind of like, oh, I was going to say something else, but they just gave me ego with the devil card. Um, how much of you not wanting to wait any longer is ego? Is it really that something's detrimental to you, or is it just detrimental to your ego? And I mean, the thing is, you are not, I mean, even with a contract or a soul contract, you're correct. You are not 100% bound. You can free yourself from this. You can leave, right? But there's still like in regards to this decision to not have to do it alone anymore because judgment is like your final decision. Like this is I feel finito energy with you. You're just I mean, you'll be bound in a different way. You want to be in the Empress energy more. But if you step in as the King of Wands yourself, you may feel locked in on that decision. Because once you choose to do it alone, you're doing it alone, right? Like alone. But your argument is I'm already doing it alone, so then we have the page of pentacles where it's like I got like like the small steps, like starting something, like going doing it yourself, right? Starting something, um, initiating it, taking the baby steps, one step at a time, right? Going your own way. Two of Wands, taking the actions towards your desire. That's you doing it. You start this path. You start taking actions towards your desire, and you end up at the Four of Pentacles. It's not bad, right? But the Four of Pentacles isn't the Ten of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is like a plateau, like when you're, rock climbers and stuff, and you hit a certain spot, and it's like I can't get any further. It is a Is there a level of security to it? Absolutely. Have you ascended to where you can go? No. So it's like the idea is to get further than where you could on your own. But your thing is this is not healthy for me because I can feel. I think there's actually some tangible thing because Five of Pentacles is like your material world. You're lacking shit right now in your material world. And that is becoming very problematic for you. There's something within your reality that you lack. Aside from obviously support and resources, right? Like the community or the person, and you're kind of like, and I just feel as if like again, you shouldn't have to self-sacrifice. There's a difference between compromise and maybe not having something right now. But when you start talking about self sacrificial things like aspects of the self and what is good for the self, and you feel like you're having to sacrifice your self respect, self love, confidence, your power. You know what I mean? Seven of Wands is which is what we saw. And when you feel like you're having to like sacrifice your boundaries, I mean, that doesn't sound like something that spirit would want you to do. So why is this unfolding like this then? Because surely to goodness, we can see how unhealthy it is for a person right now. Hermetic tarot. The sun with the two of cups in. And the two of cups at the bottom. Okay. There's only so much you're going to be able to do. I definitely see Seven of Cups with the Page of Swords. There is some level of confusion, lack of clarity. And the Page of Swords will bring that in. Gosh, I just feel like I don't want clarity. You know, King of Wands energy is shit or get off the fucking pot. Well, that's really the Knight of Wands is definitely that. But once you've hit the Knight of Wands and you're about to step into the King of Wands, like you're beyond the shit or get off the pot. Decision is fucking made. Goals and sights are set. I'm moving fucking forward. Period. Don't gotta tell me twice. Tell me about the Sun and the Two of Cups. Like, I mean, we already understood that Spirit's like, you're gonna need whoever this soul contract is to get to where you need to. Just that's where your success is. And again, what I want to say is, I know you're not dumb. None of us operate in a vacuum, right? Um, we automatically interact with other systems, whether we want to or not. Okay. I don't care how hermity you can get. You can go move to a mountain and not interact with human existence for 3 years, and you are still impacted by them. Okay. Um, from the industrial chemicals that are released into the environment and to the commercialization of land and to the like at some point it brushes up against you. The health of the waterways, um, you know, the erosion of certain areas. Like we all impact all of that. Like you're not as removed as you think. Um, so much more can be accomplished with the acceptance of these other systems, other people, help, the dynamic of that. You are just innately going to be able to get further. And it feels as though you want the 10 of Pentacles. So maybe if you're going to move forward and you're like, fine, I'm going to do it on myself. Do it on myself. Do it all myself. Wow, no. Do it all myself. Then you need to remember at some point, you need to understand that you have a propensity to get stuck in the King of Wands energy, like really grinding in your masculine. And if you're constantly grinding in your masculine and not taking time to be in your Empress energy, that creativity, that inspiration, that source of what tells you how to move and what to do is going to be depleted. And then the masculine is going to be like, that's where the cat comes in. You need the community around you so that you can move freely in and out of those energies and sit as long as you need within the Empress energy in order, because again, I always say your feminine informs the masculine. You ever seen, I'm just gonna tell you right now. I've seen individuals in their masculine that's where they stay predominantly. And when they don't know how to tap into their feminine, I mean, that's where the impulsivity gets into play. That's where the aggression starts to come out because it's one of those things where it's like, I gotta make it happen, and it's like, I don't know, but when my masculine is like, I've had it and I'm about to do some shit and it doesn't know what to do, it doesn't feel inspired or directed as to what to do. This motherfucker be going and like doing some random dumb shit that could actually get me in bigger trouble. Okay. I've watched myself before. And I'm in my body going, what the fuck? Um, it also can create a sense of desperation, which is not so again, just remember if you start this, you really need to work on being open when um these energies come in, when these connections come in, to giving them space in your life and being open to receive. Okay. You and spirit's like, I know you when you really lock in on your masculine, without the pre-existing. And here's the thing: if you had this connection already, you could get into your masculine and be riding that hard, and then but also feel safe to come out of it. See, when you don't have that community, you don't feel safe to come out of your masculine. And if this King of Wands ever turns negative, the damage that he could do, you feel me? He'll burn it all down. The level of control that he will try to exert. And so that's you'll only get so far. Um, let's not, and then the devil came out twice. Let's not turn this into some kind of bad habit, this negative spiral loop and pattern that we know you might have the propensity to get into. The success you want to see and that you see for yourself, the level that you want to get to, that comes with the Two of Cups, the help and connection with others that you are meant to have in your life. What can I do now to help them with this lack that they have had to deal with? And again, they don't want me to use like the doing without. Um, that they feel is negatively impacting them currently. What is your recommendation? Because they do have to choose themselves. Human or spirit doesn't matter. Like they are their first priority. So what is your recommendation, spirit? New era elements, guidance, recommendations, whatever you want to call it. Okay, hold on. Let me pull some the fuck. Tell me about that. I might have to talk through it. So I'm like, what is your guidance? What are you saying to do? Because you're in this energy of feeling really like it's not good. It's not good for me. And we get the fucking tower. And we all know that the tower is really about fate. It's about something that's inevitable, right? Um, If you know it's coming, you can do things accordingly, right? Your perception and take on it is what matters as to whether it's positive or negative. And then the Six of Swords came out, which is moving away from. It is leaving that behind. And I'm like, okay, explain. Tower. I feel like I know what they're saying. And then the Five of Wands again, the conflict. This push and pull between I really want to be in my Empress, but I really like, like nothing's happening. I need to be in my um I'm about to say fuck it. I'll do it myself. Waiting on some kind of King of Wands. Like I'm not doing that. Um the conflict is that with the is the struggle that you have with this with what's lacking in life, or is it the ego? There's just you know what I mean? And it is a sense like there's a tower that's looming in regards to this conflict, this fight. Because in both, it looks like a fight. I mean, look at this one. It looks like a fight, looks like a war zone. Same with this one, right? And the oh, I hate to do this. Oh, so there's the tower being hit, and here's the I get oh the imagery, the plane. If you know, you know. If you don't worry about it. Um, if you stay in this conflict, which I think you agree, if you stay in the conflict, you're looking at a tower. Um, and of course, there's a need to get away from that. And I think your version of getting away from it and Spirit's version of getting away from it are two different things. They're like, you need to relinquish and surrender to get away from this internal competing conflict of these desires of how do you do that when you are sitting in the middle when you're doing without spirit? How do you do that when you're doing without? Because people who have to like the Five of Pentacles rummage through the garbage and survive off of crumbs, they become desperate. They become desperate. I'm gonna pull some more. I feel resistance to what's being said because it's like I think you're like I don't know if it's falling on deaf ears. You may already know this, and you're like I mean, what harm could really? Again, I know they're saying you risk grinding so hard in the King of Wands, but what about your mental health? Two of Swords again. I see. It feels like you see a looming tower moment, and so does Spirit. My question is, it feels slightly different. Like you're thinking the tower moment is, I've been in this so long, I'm going to lose myself, and Spirit's like, you risk permanently losing yourself if you lock in on being the King of Wands to the exclusion of any kind of help. Like that's a faulty foundation that will fall, which they've already explained. Like when he goes rancid, when the King of Wands goes rancid, it gets ugly. If he's not directed and focused and has inspiration, it gets ugly. It becomes desperate and funny thing is you wanna be the empress. You want to spend time in that energy. I'm not saying that that's you 24/7. You want to sit with h with hope and the field of possibilities and inspiration and like, the creative juiciness of creation and, you want to be there, and spirit wants you there now too. You feel like you can't because of whatever's missing. You feel forced almost into being the King of Wands. And spirit somehow is like, no, you can be like, now's the time to be in your Empress energy. You wholeheartedly believe when that there's a tower moment, and so does spirit. Again, you all are seeing it differently. You're like, if I stay, shit's gonna hit the fan. And they're like, if you switch up, you have no clue how shit can hit the fan. You don't think you can survive in this energy anymore. And they're like, you can't risk what could happen if you enter into the King of Wands. So then why is there a delay is the question. Because it's like you are really, this is really both scenarios. It's an attempt to try and move as far away from this tower moment as possible. And your take and spirit's take are are different. Again, two of swords. Having like which truth do you allow to inform you on your decision? What's the answer to their mental health right now then? How do they address that? Because whatever they are lacking, okay, they keep correcting me. Whatever you don't have right now, whatever is missing, um, really is doing a number on your mental health, it feels. Even though, can I just say, the only cups card that has come out is a seven of cups. Oh, and the two of cups, obviously. And the two of cups. That came out like that. I mean, we do have the five of swords, which is the mental defeat. Feeling like the situation, your circumstances, your life has gotten the better of you, has really crippled you here. And I'm not trying to make it dramatic, like, oh, I'm gonna like, like severe depression or something, but I just feel as if you're like mentally and emotionally, I can't stay here anymore. Because then we have the King of Cups, Eight of Wands, and the Universe. I don't necessarily like this energy. And I and I would say this is I'd be in alignment with you if this is the energy. Because we have the defeat. You feel defeated right now. And it's giving like that's the time for the King of Cups to come in. And I remember I just said that there's really not cups here to describe you and that your emotion and it's like you definitely need some pouring into and the King of Cups can do that. We got the King of Cups will come in very quickly or when they come in It's almost as if it's like they only come in when you're in this energy or after this energy, this sense of defeat, which that's the part I don't like. It feels reminiscent of something very toxic. Like that is not the only space in which somebody can receive. But maybe right now, I don't know what's going on with you, but maybe as is, that's the only way the only way you'll be willing to receive is if you're shown beyond a shadow of a doubt that you like if you're held in this space of I can't move forward, I can't do this, I can't blah blah blah. Um, then you'll take it. It it feels, and I'm sorry, spirit can fucking disagree with me. I mean that's a little narcissistic, right? Where they want to break you down so they can be they want the admiration, they want the you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this King of Cups or King of Wands or whoever's supposed to come in is supposed to do that, but it's kind of like, "Let me break you down so you're open to me, because because I can only be this thing on a pedestal, and be seen in a certain light if you're broken. If you shine brighter than me, then how am I that?" You know what I mean? It feels like that, and I'm a little like, "Spirit, I don't like the way this is coming across at fucking all." And that might be more your take, is feeling like you don't wanna be in a sense of defeat when people come in, and that's the reason why you're like, "Fine, I'll just do it myself." You feel like you're being put in that position, and that's why you're closing down to waiting any longer, is because 'cause you're like, no." You f I think it's you, that's not spirit saying this. That is whoever I'm reading for. You feel like this shouldn't be the only space in which you can receive. You're very, very fucking confident that you can become the King of Wands and that whenever something shows up that is in alignment and good for you, that you will allow it in. But maybe with the devil, you have a pattern, you have a history, you have this thing where that's not the case. This loop that you do, you know? And so you may be one of the pressure cookers that I call in the universe where I'm like, there's individuals where it's like you don't tend to surrender unless you are exhausted of all fight in you. A pressure cooker is intended to almost like build up so much pressure, so much steam, so much whatever, until it's finally released. And that's when you finally relax and you just go, it's you always fight stuff. You probably have a habit over and over again. As soon as you step into your King of Wands, you then go negative because you want to control and you want to do and you want to like, you know what I mean? There's just something about that. I'm sorry, but it's not a matter of let me break you down until you are open to receive, until you're willing to let something in. that's your own self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like we've been down this road a million times. You've done this a million times, and every time you say you're gonna do something and you fucking don't. You don't let it in. You don't, because you're so in the King of Wands, you're like, I'll take care of it for you. Like you pretend like you're gonna let somebody in, that this is gonna be a connection and that this is a reciprocal, but then you are not willing to receive from them. You always have to be in the leadership position. You've always got to be in control of something. You've got to be on top of it. You're the people pleaser, the overgiver, the da 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 da, and then you resentful because you don't ever get to be in the Empress energy. But you've set the tone and the pace for the connections that you make, where you're like, I'm in this and I'm never moving, and so I'm always this, and so therefore. So spirit's like, so if we hold you back from being able to, if we've kept you in a place where something is missing in your life, and I think that irritates you because whatever's missing may have kept you from being the King of Wands. It's like, let somebody else be the King of Wands for once. Let somebody else be the King of Wands. You cannot permanently stay in that role in every facet, every area, because you're not going to experience the life that you want to experience, which is the 10 of Pentacles. But what's funny is, if it's like, so you're held into this place where, gosh, that's where they're saying you'll only get so far, because I'm sorry, things are set up in such a manner right now that it's to keep you from spirits. Like, I know I can't choose for you, but when I said like spirit will set things up to almost make it damn sure that you choose a certain way, you'll only get so far, because you're going to find out real quick that you're not going to be able to be the King of Wands. You don't get to be the King of Wands again until your community is in. Like, spirit will work hard to block that. Maybe even your higher self. It's like, bitch, we're gonna get this right this time. And because I know you so well. And there's something about, once established, once this is in, you will experience being the King of Wands completely differently. Again, because in life, when it's not already there and you enter into the King of Wands energy, you keenly remember what it's like to not have that. So it's almost like you have to stay in the King of Wands, because at any minute, that connection, those support systems, that partner, whatever it is fleeting. It could be gone. And so, but if that's established prior, there's this sense of security and knowing that you can dip in and out, in and out, in and out, and you're more likely to. But it's almost like they want you to have secure footing as the Empress first. So, if you are currently in this place of feeling like this isn't good, and you think you're going to face a tower moment, because you are, but not the one you think. Your need for control, your need, like, this pattern is about to come crumbling down. And spirit's like, one way or another, we're going to break this fucking cycle. And you very well may be angry, and you are just, oh my God. Oh my god. Oh, fighting it with the 5 of wands. Fighting it. And with the 2 of swords, you think the decision is to, "I'll just do it my motherfucking self," and they're asking you to be wise. In the 6 of swords, you are not in the boat alone. Think of the millions of decks. Rider Waite, you're not in the boat alone. You need to choose to move away from this consistent fucking pattern where you go, "You know what? I'll be the king of all," and that's like you get stuck. You get stuck in that shit. You get so stuck, it's not even funny. And that mhm. And, it feels like your desire to be free from that pattern and free from that bullshit that you've experienced over and over and over and over again in your life is actually greater than your disdain for the current circumstance. And I know that you're trying to do this for you. The spirit's trying to do this for you as well. And I dare I say it is your higher self trying to act on your behalf despite what your human or ego is afraid is going to happen. Again, your ego is trying to protect you. So there is a decision to be made. And you may feel utterly defeated. And I don't hate to say it. Um, I, now I just want to cry because with the 5 of swords, you know, again, in traditional right away, there's one person that wins out, 2 people walking away kind of thing. Like it is a battle and somebody who's going to win. And it won't be your ego. I just feel like it's going to hit a point where it won't be your ego. Damn sure won't. It won't. And if your human is hell bent on letting the ego run this right now, your higher self and spirit are hell bent on being the ones to win. So if you do feel like you are at battle, you probably fucking are. Because somebody's meant to come in. And when I tell you when they come in, King of Cups, light, to pour into you, things move fast and a lot opens up. And lo and behold, 10 of Cups, you get your wish, you get your desire. This thing where you're like, I am sick of being in this place where I am doing without. You get what you fucking want. So not only will you be happy and content and joyous within the self, 9 of Cups, there's going to be an additional cup to help keep you in that space of pouring in. You get to give. I know you love to be the one sometimes. You don't have a desire to be in the Empress energy 24/7 for the remainder of your life. You want to give, but they're going to make sure that the other cup is there to help keep that balance. And here's the thing. Again, as with anything with destiny, you have to choose it. But I'm telling you right now, the path to that, if you choose against your own best interest, you will not win without a fucking fight. Because your higher self and spirit are like, oh, oh, we're ready. We're ready. And just know that if you do win out, one, the battle is going to be exhausting, depleting. Even if you win, you'll feel defeated. If you win, you're going to remain in a fucking pattern. If you win, you will plateau. And if you think this stagnant energy right now is shitty, just know it may be a little bit better than it is right now. If you win and you make some progress, you are still going to get stuck. Do what you will with that information. Because I'm telling you right now, it is a part of some kind of contract. And they're like, okay. And this contract isn't just like for the other person or other people. It's for you. And there's something about that makes you feel inadequate. Like, why can't I do it on my own? Why can't I do it? Well, because otherwise you're not in your Empress energy. I mean, the Empress understands the beauty of being willing to receive and giving something space and time to grow and to nurture and to enjoy you're not doing that if you're constantly in the King of Wands. You're not. You're just fucking not. And you did come here with an intent to embody this Empress energy. And I don't know, you feel it's like you feel less than because you can't do it on your own. And it feels like you feel like you're a victim because the spirit won't let you do it on your own. And like spirit's like, just wait though. And if you succeed in what you think you're trying to do right now, you're gonna wish you hadn't. And we're on your side. We're not trying to punish you. We're not trying to exert control over you. We're trying to help you achieve what it is that you want, and you are fighting us tooth and nail. Fighting us. You are a worthy opponent, I will say that. So that is that. I hope the message finds whoever it's meant for. I hope you guys have a fantastic and wonderful day, and I will see you at the next read.